Bring them in, bring them in, bring them in. Welcome back to Sunday Chirps, episode 15. We are joined by Mike, absolute beauty. Yeah, it's been a while since we recorded. I think it's been around 10 days. The Stanley Cup Finals just concluded, so got a lot to get through. Stanley Cup Finals, the whole playoffs, and jump into today's episode, which is brought to you by Bad Birdie. Bad Birdie, it's just about the best stuff on the planet. Super lightweight, stretchy, great material. You're on the golf course, especially post playoffs. Everyone's me out there. It's summertime. Get yourself some Bad Birdie apparel. Go to badbirdiegolf.com. Use code Jared15 for 15% off your order. And let's dive right into the episode. So we got Mike here. Mike, what you been up to the last weekend?
Not much, not much. Just got back from college. Been getting into my men's league era and playing some roller hockey, pickup at the park, all that good stuff. So you know what they say, all roads lead to men's league. So
Speaking of men's league, I don't know. I saw something yesterday was saying that Logan Thompson, the Golden Knights goalie or one of them, he used to jump in behind the bars for like a men's league in in Vegas. So he just hop in and like he said it was harder to play goalie against the beer league players than it was against like NHL players because when the NHL player looks top right, they're firing top right. When some beer league bender looks top right and they fluff it like a floor cheese shot, he's like, I didn't fucking know he was gonna do that. It just fucking slipped in. So I thought that was pretty funny to see. But Max, what you been up to?
Yeah, not much. Just got back as well. We talked about that. I've been playing a bit of roller as well. Just played a bit of pickleball. Very interesting game. It's a lot of fun. And not much. What about you, Pine?
Yeah, I've been getting after it a bit. I actually was walking the other day, and there's a public park here in Fort Lauderdale, and they have two roller rinks, but one's been converted to pickleball courts,
Oh,
and
great.
the other one, like, I mean, you could play there, but dude, right now it's like you go outside, it's like 95, and with humidity like 105, and just it's just unbearable to be outside. So
Yeah.
not much roller hockey going on there. Um, my favorite bar, Tin Roof, been getting after it there. Oh, I actually have a few good stories this weekend and last weekend because we haven't spoken in a while. So I'll talk about the Chiclets guys in a minute. So I'm out with the boys, like a couple of my beer league teammates, and we're talking to some girls, and whatever. I go up to some girl and I start talking to her, and she's telling me, what did I say? Oh, I said to her, one of her friends, he had like this like steezy mullet and a mustache. I was like, oh, your boy's got some sick letty or something like that. Like I was drunk, like whatever. And she goes, you're a hockey player. I'm like, I mean, a beer league player, like whatever. Um, and she goes to me, she goes, does this is word for word what she says to me. She said, does coach let you go no Buckies and warmies? I'm like, what? Like, who even says that? Um, and it turns out she's a big Panthers fan, and I don't think she ever played hockey, but she showed me these pictures. You remember when Brooks Koepka's at the game, like just trashed, like fuck Ekblad and holding the cone? Dude, she's sitting there right next to him. Like she was in the box with Brooks Koepka. She's like, oh, like he's a friend of a friend. Like we go to the game together. What? Like no, not Masters champion, PGA champion. And then what's the next thing she says? Oh, she's like, show me pictures. She with like Paulina Gretzky, and I'm like, oh my god. There's definitely more to the story too, and I really don't remember it, but I was definitely fucked up. So I'm trying to think. I might have texted my buddy, but that was a really good story. And flipping back to the weekend before, I'm at Tin Roof. The Chiclets are hosting. It's like a popular bar here in Fort Lauderdale, and the Chiclets guys are hosting it. And Biz and Wit weren't there. Biz was doing the TNT stuff, and I think Wit was just in Mass or something. But dude, RA is way taller than I thought. Dude is like 6'4". Um, what else? Oh, and they're just the fucking chillest guys. Like I was talking to Grinelli. talking to like Merles, Army. Dude, Army's
That's
nose is
good.
fucked. His nose is fucking like twisted. And then what was it? Oh, and I was shooting this shit with Granelli, and Granelli was telling me, I was like, hey, Granelli, like, if the Coyotes would go anywhere, where do you think they'd go? And he's like, probably Salt Lake City or Atlanta or Houston. But I was like, Atlanta, like, they failed twice. Like, how are they going to bring a team there again? But what do you guys think? Like, I mean, TNT's headquartered there. Like, it's getting so
Yeah,
much bigger. Do you think it could go, like, do you think it could work in Atlanta?
I think it could. Yeah, I mean they're building the stadium at Georgia that they have for the hockey team, and I mean they could probably get some use out of an NHL team, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. And,
So with like a lot of these teams that you wouldn't expect to be great hockey cities, now all these Florida markets are expanding. Now you got Vegas and stuff. So maybe in the past wasn't a good time, but now we see these southern cities, and I mean they're looking
Yeah,
like they're good markets. So
well, two things with that. I mean, one, Vegas now, I think the Golden Knights is what brings together like Vegas. Like that's like those are the true like, oh, I'm from Vegas because most people are tourists in Vegas. So the
yeah,
true natives, like that's what they bond over. And when people get asked, oh, community, that's what brings us together is the Golden Knights, which is awesome. And along with that too, a lot of these bigger, like you think like Big Ten, SEC, all these schools, I think they're gonna start popping up with hockey and like one, I think these girls are just gonna love Southern hockey. I mean, you got the SPHL down here, and it's just gonna be such a sick. Like gonna see like a D1 UGA team would be awesome. Tennessee, Bama, like all
yeah.
these schools would be so awesome to see.
It would.
And Binghamton, I think, is gonna get a D1 team in the next few years as well, Mike. So that'd be cool to
Exciting.
see.
yeah,
And with that too, the Panthers. I was talking to Granelli, and Granelli was saying he met with the CFO or the COO of the Panthers, and he's saying how they might look to move to Fort Lauderdale in the next like 5 to 10 years, which I think would be huge for them because they
Yeah.
need to be a city. Like being able to walk to the like you could walk to MSG, and that's like a game changer. So I think they'd gain a lot of fans if they did that.
hmm A lot more sellouts and stuff.
100%. But yeah, moving forward, let's dive right into the Stanley Cup final. I mean, two teams never won a cup, and the Knights prevail. So, what are your thoughts, Max? You want to go through?
Um, I thought that you told us that Vegas were the juggernauts, I think last episode, and I didn't believe it, but I mean they were game one, they just came out flying, like they had depth, like they looked great, like all around. I don't know. What do you think?
Look, they're just hockey. Like if you look up like what everyone thinks a hockey player is, that's the Gold Knights. They have like a couple small players like Marshall Salt. I definitely botched that name just now,
No, you got it
but
right.
Marshall Salt. Okay,
Yeah.
but their team is just thick, big players. Like they're all like 6'2" to 6'4". Aiden Hill's like 6'5". I mean, that
Yeah.
whole team is just built like they're so physical, so strong, and they're so disciplined. Like they're the least penalized team.
Yep.
They get it done, and they didn't do anything stupid. That like, I think that's the difference. Like you don't have anyone showboating. Like even like your superstars like Eichel and Marshall Salt, pucks in deep, hard forecheck, hitting, and just firing on all cylinders. I mean, Mark Stone leads the pack there, and they had four lines that could roll, three pairs of D, tons of experience, and Aiden
Yep.
Hill played lights fucking out. So I mean, I didn't think there was a chance they were winning. And then plenty of injuries too. So I mean, that was definitely a big factor for the Panthers. And the
Yeah, it
Panthers
was.
try to play a different game. The Panthers, the first like 3, 4 games, was like, oh, let's go hit them, like run everyone, and like try to get under Vegas' skin. And they're just like, we're bigger and we don't care. Like we're just gonna play our game and let you try to do whatever you want. And Vegas prevailed.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
What do you
mean,
think, Mike?
a, a lot of what you're saying with Vegas, they play a disciplined game, and Florida, it was more of a flashy, exciting team that underdogs every series, they just kind of ran out of gas. I mean, going into that series, they were so banged up. I
Yeah.
mean, when you're playing a team as disciplined and systematic as Vegas, it's tough, to keep that momentum after you've got beat up by Boston. All the injuries that were from round one. Who was Ekblad had injuries in the first series and played through the whole playoffs. So
Yeah.
it's
He had a
just
broken foot.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
Kachuk too.
yeah, Kachuk couldn't get out of bed on his own and played through game 4 later that day. So, but just not
Yeah.
enough gas. But that team had a whole lot of heart. But when they're going up against a team like Vegas, Vegas is more built for that full playoff run.
Yeah. Yep.
Last
You're right.
episode, I was talking about the analytics, and I was showing that Vegas destroys good goalies. Like, they've made every goalie look stupid, and they made, like, Ottinger, his playoff beauty, ruined him. Hellbuck, playoff beauty, Hellbuck's just a beauty in general, ruined him. Who is the second round they played?
Oilers.
Oilers. That actually was probably the closest matchup, and they didn't actually. Stuart Skinner played well, but like I wouldn't say they like he's not like on that same tier as
Yeah.
Ottinger and Hellbuck and
But they're
Bobrovsky. They
yeah.
ruined him. He was less than 9.9 save percentage. I mean, ruined. What were you
Sure.
saying, Max?
No, you got it. I was about to say something like Bobrovsky just got speed and he couldn't handle it, I guess.
Yeah. Was that the highest scoring clinching Stanley Cup game ever?
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Mark Stone got a hat trick.
Yeah. Dude, and it just like after the first period, it felt like my beer league games. Like they were like it was just like goal, goal, goal,
Yeah.
goal. Like even like Panthers put up 2 or 3 in the second, I think, or third, and it was like another 6 or 7 from Golden Knights. But they just steamrolled them. It was insane. And then Conn Smythe, like, did we see it being Marshall Salt?
Yeah, he played great. I mean, I thought Aiden Hill could have got like a first place vote in there, like maybe 1 or 2. I mean, he played amazing all playoffs for them and was one of the reasons they're there, but whatever. I thought Johnny Hockey played great.
Yeah, and with that too, I think well, Marshall Salt was out the first round, not out physically, like he just did nothing the first round.
Yeah.
I think he averaged like a goal a game for the last like 13 games or something. Maybe more. He was playing outrageous, but I thought Eichel was all around the best player, like every game in and out, points, whether it was like goals, assists, he was hitting.
Yeah.
I thought he should have won it. And I think Vegas had Marshall Salt plus 1,000 to win uh the Conn Smythe at one point, like in like the final 2 games, which was surprising.
That
But
is.
yeah, I mean, look, we had a lot of great players. What about the fact that Eichel has a cup before McDavid?
Crazy.
If you're a Sabres fan, are you happy for him or like pissed at him or angry? What do you think?
I don't know, because the Sabres, they got a lot to look forward to. It looks like, or finally, but I mean, it's got to be bittersweet. I mean, to see somebody walk and right away win a cup that quick. So I don't know, but I think hopefully it seems like for Sabres fans now is finally looks like things might start turning around. So I
Yeah.
guess they got some good things to look forward to.
Yeah. They're a playoff team next year.
Yeah, they got the young stud. Who's in net now? I can't think of his name. Um, Shoot.
Star Wars, the Jedi.
Yeah. So he's gonna look good. Not Davis. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's got bright future.
Devin Levi.
Devin Levi. What I was about to say? I said D, so like D something, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. But no, I mean Sabres look, they have a bright future. I mean, we got a lot of like the East, like there's a lot of like Devils are a young team ready to fire on all cylinders, like not to fire anyone. We've got the Sabres are young. Flyers are making moves. I think Briere steps in as the GM and they're firing on all cylinders for moves.
Yeah.
Columbus has been making some huge moves too. I think it's gonna be a big shakeup in the East. The Rangers have their work cut out. Um, Definitely not what I wanted to see right now as a Rangers fan.
So the
Um,
Islanders,
yeah, what are they even up to? Mike, what's the scoop there?
Josh Bailey getting cut, right?
I mean, we'd hope so. But again, it's Lou coming out like every year and saying this team he believes can win, which I don't know. I'm getting a little tired of hearing that, but it doesn't look like he's looking to shake things up, which is probably what the team needs because it's getting pretty old there.
What's the cap like in Islanders?
Um, I mean, there's not really much room to make any moves because a lot of these veterans are on pretty steep deals. Um, and then Sorokin's got to be paid pretty soon, which
Yeah,
a lot of that money is going to come from Varlamov. Um, there's not a lot of room to make moves because all of these guys or these veterans are stuck in these long contracts, and a lot of them are for the next 2 years at least. So it's going to be a tough time, I think, to be an Islander fan in the near future. But I mean, I hope that maybe Bo Horvat and Barzell can find some some sort of chemistry and things click. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Is Bo Horvat a center or a winger?
So he's a center, and in the beginning when he first played before Barzell got hurt, they moved Barzell over to wing to play with him
Mm,
because Nelson's a center and then Pajot was center on the third line. Um,
gotcha.
but I mean, we'll see. It comes down to if they can if those two can click and put up some points. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough time at this deep East Conference. It's going to be a
yeah,
battle to get these wild card spots.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, not that we're really going the off season. The Islanders have top goaltending in the league, top tier. Um, their back end, what does their D even look like? I'm trying to think. I feel like they
Pellick.
have.
Yeah, Pellick,
Oh, so they're
Kulak.
top two heavy.
Yeah, and then they got Dobson, who I think he took a step back this year, but hopefully he takes two steps forward and he keeps progressing. Um, but they got to look for more depth. Scott Mayfield might be walking. We don't know yet. So they got spots to fill specifically in that top six area.
Yeah, definitely. If you had one player to go after, do you think you'd go for one of the core four in Toronto? You want to see like a Mitch Marner, a William Nylander, Austin Matthews, or I
I,
mean, obviously you'd want to, but
yeah, I don't
JT
think
back.
that's I don't think that's something the Islanders can afford. I mean, really, all they can afford to fill would be these depth players, bottom six or top six demon. So the lineup doesn't have much room to shake up. So you just gotta hope, this system can prevail, and hopefully that top line can start putting up some top line numbers.
yeah. I mean, there's not that like in particular for the Islanders or Rangers or anyone, but that Vegas team, there's gonna be some players up for grabs. So,
Yeah,
if the Islanders could sign like Barbashev or the Rangers could sign Barbashev, that'd be a game breaker. A William Carlson, like these are like third or second line players that like could easily be a top six player on a lot of these teams. Um, I mean, the Vegas,
experience.
yeah, Vegas will lock up probably as many as they can, but their three centers, was it? Their top three are Eichel, William Carlson, and
Stone.
Chandler Stevenson. No, Stone's a winger, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I mean, like they're not going to retain all those, and their fourth line. Trying to think, they had a stud who was like a young guy too. Their fourth line was sick, who they're probably going to go play top six or solid third line elsewhere. So, and they were what 15 over the cap, 10 over the cap.
Yeah, they were a lot.
And they have four goalies clearly that could play. I mean, Logan Thompson, Aiden Hill, Brossoir, and what's his name? Who was with the Islanders a few years ago? Um,
Leonard,
who's their yeah.
but that was kind of crazy watching the cup celebration. There was like seemed like every other guy had goalie pads on. There were so many out there.
And then what's it called? William Carlson was just hammered giving a speech. Did you follow it at all? I couldn't really follow it.
A little bit.
It was like, oh, like you've been here since day one. Like Vegas, we fucking love you. Like I don't even know. I mean, I don't think he knows either. But
Yeah, no. That's a
uh,
long night.
seriously, yeah, they were out till like 9 in the morning. I think I heard a story that Eichel was like rolling into like some Irish dive bar at like 8 a.m. just shit faced, and like the four people there were like, "Who the fuck's this guy?" That's like Eichel rolls in with a cup. But even the owner was like apparently like he treats them like he's like the best owner in the league. Like he has them out. Owns I think like 600 acres in Montana, like something stupid. And he just has the boys out and they're like golfing, they're fishing, they're hunting, do whatever
What a
they want.
time.
Yeah,
That sounds
exactly.
great.
Oh yeah. So the players they love it. They love playing there. They all live in like Summerland, I think, which is not too far. It's like by the practice facility. Just
Mm,
beautiful area. And the last thing I was to say with that, oh, he goes, I think he said playoffs in 3, cup in 6,
yeah.
which
Yep.
is just insane that he called it.
They almost won the cup and won.
Yeah, this is tied for the fastest, I think, to win a cup.
Yeah,
They tied with the Flyers, I think. Not
something like
mistaken.
that.
But no, I mean, how about the fact that Heat and Panthers both lost? Tough look.
Tough look for South Florida. That's your area.
Yeah. But you know what? Having two teams in, like, was better, like, riding it out, the playoff games, the parades, the girls
Yeah,
coming down to, like, all the bars, hosting events. Like, it was a sick scene. I never was
Yeah.
up for, there was never that for the Islanders or the Rangers, even. Well, I
nope.
guess the Rangers were in the finals
Yeah, we got to the cup.
for against LA, but I don't know. And Alec Martinez beat us, like, beat Panthers and beat the Rangers.
Every time he scores, I get PTSD.
Yeah, I could just see him tapping in. Poor Hank. Hank was on the panel for TNT just watching Alec Martinez go like I think he went top left in the final game, scored like the fourth goal. So I mean, just a tough look. Oh, and another tidbit too. I think I saw someone, I don't know if it was a poll or just like asking around like oh like if you just went to like Dallas, like just a big city but like not like the biggest hockey area, if Wayne Gretzky and Paul Bissonnette walked around, who would get recognized more? And they're like probably Biz. Biz would probably be more recognizable than the great one, which is just absurd.
Yeah,
Good
it's
for Biz is
crazy.
growing the game. Good for him.
Yeah. Dude, like, can you imagine being like a fourth line plug and then go be like, oh, now I'm sitting next to Henrik Lundqvist, Anson Carter, the great one. Like, he's on a first name, like, he's boys with
Messier.
99. Messier's with ESPN.
Oh yeah.
But even still, like, just so cool to see. And the game's
Yeah.
growing, so hopefully more people, more people involved.
More people, more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's some all-star lineup they got on TNT too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. Dude,
We
I
were
like
saying
watching. Go ahead.
we were saying that we preferred that they put all games on on TNT over ESPN for the playoffs. I mean, it was dumb that they even put them on ESPN. Like no one could care less about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had us like blocked. They gave us like bad slots for ESPN. Like I don't understand. Like I would have rather they had like when we talked about the Oilers Golden Knights game. It was the only game on a Sunday night, 10 p.m.
Yeah.
because they had like women's volleyball or something on ESPN too, and they couldn't put the NHL
Softball. Yeah, something like
softball.
that.
Yeah, and no offense to women's softball or whatever volleyball. Like first of all, I'd rather be on like ESPN 8. Give me the Ocho. Like if we have our own channel, like whatever, like that's fine. I don't like ESPN 8's better than being a shitty time on like ESPN 1. But just give it to TNT. If you don't want to broadcast it, if you think more people want to watch girls softball than NHL playoffs, we don't want to be on ESPN. Plus the TNT, the in between periods is just the best I've ever seen. I've never
Yeah.
actually wanted to watch besides like the MSG 150 I like. other than that, like the TNT in between periods is literally entertaining, which is
Yeah,
Yeah.
not for most. So got a lot to work on for next year, but no, it was an unreal run, and um,
they do have a
any
lot to work on.
yeah.
Viewership was down 50% or 40%. I mean, it's pretty sad. Mike, do you think of any suggestions that they could use to like get it up and increase it?
I mean, it's just so tough, especially with you're competing with the NBA, which the marketing in
Yeah,
the NBA is. I mean, I wish that the NHL had the same type of marketing, um, and reached the same amount of people, but it's just tough when you're competing when you know so many people are watching the NBA playoffs. It's tough to get people who aren't hockey fans to tune in. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think it's good that some of these newer markets are having some success. It's That'll definitely help grow things. But besides that, I mean, you hope that organically just grows in these smaller markets, and hopefully that helps compete a little bit more in that time.
yeah,
A little bit off topic too. Like I don't know if you guys saw like the in the golf world, like one golf is blowing up right alongside hockey and soccer too. We need to dive into MLS real quick. That they're growing faster than the NHL, which is just stupid. You sign someone like Messi, and all of a sudden the MLS is probably now bigger as far as revenue generation than the NHL,
yeah,
which is absurd because the NHL is the um, biggest hockey platform level, whatever you want to call it, in the world. So something's got to change to bring in new players. Um, I think this PHF or whatever, the Premier Hockey Federation, the Women's League, hopefully that continues to grow. I know there's a couple influencers there that kind of have a smaller platform. They're trying to bring over the NHL. The NHL brings them on. But I think for the new generation, just me bringing these, it's crazy enough, but all these young kids and even people our age, they have no attention span to watch the 2.5 hour game, which is so frustrating. And they're just scrolling on the TikToks. And so players like watching these trick shot guys and influencers and the spin chiclets guys, empty netters, those are really what's going to grow the game.
yeah.
Um, so I don't know, maybe more like streams, like kind of having chiclets like the instead of the TNT broadcast hosting a game, like the Chiclets guys have their own like stream as well, or like the empty netters, or I don't know, just
Something
like some
like
younger,
that. Yeah,
or put three like PHF girls, like just three girls that have like a decent platform and have them come in and kind of just have a beer while they watch the game and maybe bring in some more girls to the game of hockey. I think that'd be awesome.
yeah.
I don't know. And one last thing, I've just found out some of the hockey tournaments I'm coaching. Um, for the 12V team I coach, and we have some sick locations. We're doing for what's it called, Columbus Day weekend. We're doing the Smoky Showdown or something in the Smoky Mountains, Tennessee. Mike,
Oh yeah.
going to Knoxville. So that's gonna be dope. I think we have what was the weekend? I want to say Halloween or Thanksgiving is in DC, and
Nice. Out of
what
the
was the other?
distance.
Well, I get per diem, so my hotels, travel, and I get money every day, like a stipend. What else? Oh, we're going to Dallas for a tournament as well. And the last tournament, I want to say it's either Nashville or Orlando. So some pretty sick locations for
Yeah, it
these
is.
12-year-olds. Um, but yeah, any last thoughts before we kind of close up?
Done. I'm good. Anything from you, Mike?
No, I think that's pretty much everything. Um, Excited to see how things shake up the off season, because
Yeah,
everything we're talking about, I mean, everything could change in a month or two. So we'll see, but it looks like a lot of things to be excited for.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll probably do one more episode before the July 1st deadline when shit starts to rock, maybe in the next week or so. And once July 1st hits, there's so much going on. And we've got to talk about Brad Treliving getting hired by the Maple Leafs, the new GM, the new president of hockey operations, Kyle Dubas to Pittsburgh, and he
Yeah,
grabbed Spezza too, I think.
yeah.
So a lot there. And then Shane Doan to the Leafs as a special ops something or other. So that's
Assistant
cool.
coach, no?
No, I think he's head of. He's gonna be working with the GM for like as like a special operations something or other. I'm not too sure.
Matthews loves him.
Yeah, but you think Matthews will stay in?
I think so, yeah.
They gotta trade someone. Too. I
Yeah,
heard a little rumor that maybe Marner to the Hurricanes.
that would be a tough blow for
See,
all of us.
yeah, but I don't think that's not what the Hurricanes need. The Hurricanes need some big boys. Like they brought in a Brent Burns. Like they could have used it. I think they would have had a Timo Meyer, like a physical guy like him that's can also be a game breaker. He could have been the game changer for
Yeah,
them.
we
They could
said
have beat the Panthers. So I don't know. I
missed
guess we'll
out.
see. Yeah. Well, there's gonna be a lot of off-season movement, and we'll jump into that next episode and for the following ones. But Mike, we appreciate you coming on.
Yep.
And
Thank you.
if any viewers made it this far in the episode, subscribe to the YouTube, go follow and give a 5-star review if you can on Spotify or Apple. Stay tuned for some more content. I'll see you guys soon.